So her name, and when I say her, I mean the ship's name is Manny Song, which is apparently named after Manny Santos from Degrassi, which I am thrilled that neither of us got that reference.
I know.
Other than knowing that Doc Hammer is a big fan, and that is just hilarious that he worked in a Degrassi reference.
Yeah.
And, which of course Shore Leave got, you know.
And they start chatting about it.
I'm pretty sure Doc Hammer made that joke, like, for himself, and was just like, hey, yeah!
Because who else is watching Degrassi out there?
It's, like, for teens or something. But,
I just love, like, okay, from what I know about Doc's TV viewing habits, it includes Project Runway, Animal Planet,
America's Next Top Model.
America's Next Top Model.
Huge. A lot of Animal
Degrassi. What is he watching? What is this situation?
The pirate captain gets, like, super, super excited about being a fake pirate again, which is just, like, so cute.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was excited. Weren't you excited for him to be a fake pirate again?
He got to shine in his shiny pirate way.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he'll leave the whole, you know, Jonas Jr. Spider Skull situation. Because I don't really feel like they're using his talents there anyway.
He really has pirate in him.
And he has, like, a
He's
tranquilizer problem.
To pirate it out.
Free.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile, Billy's being treated to indoor racquetball, some mini golf, bumper cars, bumper pool, laser tag, giant Legos on an offshore super vessel, while Monstruoso is enjoying his last day in his body, which Billy translates as his mortal body.
Yeah.
But he's wrong.
So, back to Manny's song.
Must we go back?
We must. Hunter deduces that the check that White gave them, you know, it's like $50,000 or whatever, actually came from General Consolidated Insurance, or GCI, which also stands for what now?
The Guild of Calamitous Intent?
G. Willikers. So the investors are tied to someone with access to guild funds, which narrows the playing field. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So, yeah. So Billy's hand emits a tracer pulse, which we're guessing was installed by the OSI when they were using him to spy on Phantom Limb.
Brock and Hunter.
Yeah. And that leads Sphinx to Monstruoso, but they deduce that from the thumbprint left by Monstruoso on the check.
Yeah, which at first they think is handprint.
Is a palm, yeah.
Yeah.
A palm, yeah, weird. So Sphinx is weirdly good. They're, like, really good at what they do.
I also learned
Which we're not really used to people being, like, competent and, like...
I know.
Talented.
I also learned that I was really into using the word deduce when I was writing these notes.
We deduced.
But whatever.
That's a double deuce.
I was actually listening, I'm sure you guys have snatched up the season 4.1 DVD, which you should. Mm-hmm. It's fabulous.
Commentary.
That they've always wanted Monstruoso to be a lot bigger. Like, he's a lot closer now, I think, but when they first shows up in the last episode of the 4.1, they were like, he wasn't big enough. Like, you're supposed to sit 5 people on his lap, you know. So Billy, of course, you know, thinks that it's his last day in his mortal coil or whatever, and he makes a request for some, how should I say, lady company?
The ladies.
And,
ladies.
And so, later that evening, 3 Dracula brides descend on him out of his bedchamber. Which is really funny because, if you recall, Doc Hammer has his list on MySpace of, like, the girls that he's super, super into or whatever. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really funny.
Dracula brides are on there.
Dracula brides are on there. And I just love that they got, like, a personal shout-out in the show.
Because it's, like... If Doc was Billy, that would be his dream.
But they'd be actual Dracula brides.
Yeah, not prostitutes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. So, how awkward do things get?
Really awkward.
When they descend on him.
Really awkward.
Ew! Because, like, you don't want to see Billy in a compromising situation.
Oh, and he's all, like,
and
excited.
Taking off his clothes and, like...
He's liking what they're doing.
And the voice work for them was too good. It was awkward. And, so something, you know... Oh, and he's, like, talking nervously the entire time.
Like, oh, I like the dance you're doing for me. And
just talking about, like, you know, picking his nose with his metal hand and stuff like that. So anyway,
allergies in his dry nose. So it's like prone to nosebleeds.
We're blessedly relieved from having to see something really awkward take place when something more awkward happens, and that's when his fire extinguisher gets activated in his hand.
So when Billy wakes up, he's left thinking he slept with 3 women at once. LOL. I'm pretty sure he just passed out.
Yeah. Although he didn't.
Not likely. Although he did wake up in his underwear.
Yeah.
So maybe. He does claim that it happened.
I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
He's, like, covered in the stuff and the...
fire extinguisher, foam, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Chemical stuff. So back in the panic room with Hatred and White, we find out that nothing happened between Billy and Hatred.
Yay!
He recounts their night of cuddling. Which is almost worse. Like, we spooned all night, gingerly.
So, I thought it was
gentle and
really
sweet.
Interesting that White gets really miffed when Hatred, you know, is like, calls Billy his best friend. And he's like, I just work with him.
And he says that Rusty's his best friend.
I know, which is like...
Because he's like, we went to school together. Of course he's my best friend.
Who saw that coming? Like, I did not think that he was going to call Rusty his best friend. I thought he thought Rusty was a prick.
Yeah, I did too, actually. But I love what Hatred calls him.
Hatred calls him out. He calls him a star flipper. Because he said that Billy isn't famous enough for White to, you know, call him his best friend. And I was like, it's so true. He just sort of likes to, you know, hinge his...
He just is along for the ride.
Yeah, and he wants to be hinged to a star. And I just felt bad for Billy, you know? But, like, what is White bringing to the table? Even though I love him, I don't know, whatever.
Great hair and 80s clothes. You're really underestimating the power of that. So, anyways. So Billy resigns to the fact that he's getting turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
And he signs the paperwork. He's going. But Monstroso reveals that it's really just a big misunderstanding. And what Billy actually signed were diplomas for his degrees, saying that he is a doctor now.
That's cool.
His gift. The vampire brides were actually prostitutes. And Billy's actually there to perform a heart transplant with King Gorilla's heart.
When you were watching the episode, what would you think? Was the illusion shattered, or did you actually think the vampire stuff was gonna happen?
No, I like, it's so funny, like, Billy's reaction was almost exactly what mine was, like, really? I should have known. I'm here to perform another stupid illegal surgery. Like, how did I not see this coming?
Also, I hope his degrees aren't just legal in, like, the Cayman Islands or wherever they are, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so in exchange for getting, we find out that King Gorilla actually got out of jail early, and got out of his, you know, life sentence because he agreed to give his heart when he died.
Yeah.
Monstroso, although I guess, I don't know if he agreed to be helped along so much, but...
Well, he did, I mean, it wasn't their fault that he got cancer.
Oh, I guess I assumed that he didn't make the deal until after he knew, and he wanted to have, like, his last, like, that's how he knew he was dying.
Maybe, oh, I never thought of that. So, with his new status as a legit surgeon, Billy will get the fame and fortune of somebody with his talent. You'll be a legend and immortal, said Monstroso. So, Billy resigns to his task. It's Billy time. Let's make history.
Anyway, during this whole, like, situation going down, Brock and Shorely were simultaneously infiltrating the ship. And there's, like, a great shore leave line, which I think is actually better than the Sphinx line for this episode, which when he's like, we have a totally cool job. The first one who finds a talking harp wins. Wins.
Yeah, I liked that. I was a fan.
But actually, this is interesting. I don't think I caught this the first go-around or whatever, but the investors are indeed magic guys, and so they slip away. So, like, where did they go, and are we going to receive them again?
You know, one of the guys actually reminded me of Dr. Killinger.
Oh, you think they have something to do with Dr. Killinger? Who we've not seen at all.
No, I know. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it just reminded me of him. Isn't that weird? I'm not really not trying to make any kind of inference here. It just reminded me of him.
Okay.
But maybe I could be right.
Maybe.
About not knowing anything. Don't comment on that. So Brock finds Billy, who spends the rest of the surgery looking like the Coppertone girl. Because his butt crack is out the entire time. So Brock gives him a cowboy speech about saving Monstroso's life. Because Billy's all, he gave me more than you guys ever did.
Yeah, which is kind of true. Especially when he worked for the OSI. He got, like, screwed over, you know?
But you knew that it was shady the whole time. Like, Billy didn't, but we did.
That's true.
Lucky us.
So, Brock does, you know, succeed in convincing Billy that, you know, he can't actually, you know, help Monstroso live and continue being evil and whatnot. But the quiz boy just won't let Monstroso die, even though he decides that, okay, you're right, Brock. Because he finally realized that the only person he needs to convince is a real doctor is himself.
That's right.
And he has to follow that Hippocratic oath.
That he never actually took.
And he has ethics, damn it. And so the end of the episode is Brock waiting patiently for Monstroso to get well enough so that he may murder him.
However, things might not all be hunky-dory with Billy and White.
I know.
Because Billy tells Brock, White, like he cares a rat's ass about me. I am done with White. He's holding me back. It sounds like a breakup.
It's kind of ironic because at the same time, like Billy, if those papers still go through, which they might, I don't know.
If they're real.
If they're real and if they apply in the United States.
Well, when Monstroso was like, these are legal papers, you are now a doctor.
And they went away with the magic guys. So, anyway.
To like some secret filing place where they keep the doctor files.
Exactly. Right, because that's real.
Yeah.
So at the same time, that Billy actually might get some fame and success and be the kind of star that, you know, White wants to hitch himself to. He's sort of realizing...
He's a star effer.
Yeah. You know, Billy might also be getting a reality check about his best friend. And that, you know, he's actually been disvalued the whole time. But...
Dun dun dun.
White,
the drama.
I know. And White was kind of like, oh, maybe I am kind of a jerk.
Did he say that?
No, but he did seem kind of put off when the whole star flipper thing came up.
You're right. He was, well, yeah, but who wants to be called a star effer? Like...
That girl
like,
wearing that t-shirt on Doc Hammer's profile. That's a star.
Oh, it did?
Flipper on it. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
On his MySpace profile.
First of all...
It was concerning.
Someone's been spending a lot of time on MySpace.
Just on Doc Hammer's profile. Does that make it worse or better?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither.
He's on the Facebook now.
I know, right? Oh, if you guys need to check it out. If you're not friends with Doc Hammer on Facebook, he's actually on there.
So, stay tuned. Mm-hmm. This Sunday is the hour-long season finale.
Oh my gosh.
Called Operation Prom. But it's P.R.O.M. Which is interesting.
So
I want to know what PROM stands for.
Our fingers are so crossed for a full sequence, like a full title sequence.
Yeah.
You realize
How about a Go Team Venture?
Oh my gosh.
Haven't had one all season.
How about a Super Runaway? Yeah.
So, until next time, happy venturing.
Happy venturing.
And we'll see you later.
Bye, Venturers.
Bye.